Hello everyone, I am Liliana, owner of Event Craft Studio Seasonal Wreaths and Holiday Decor, and today we are here because I am going to bluify our harvest decor. Before I get started, just making sure as always that I could see everybody's comments. I'm actually not on super late for once, and I'm making sure that I could see anything if anybody comes on, because this is exciting for me to come on early. So before we get started, let's just make sure I can see comments, and I can, and we are ready to go. Awesome. Okay, so what we're going to work on today is, and I'm always making up words, I'm calling it bluifying. Last year we had my harvest decor, so this is going to be the third year in a row that I use this. I try not to use things more than 2 years in a row, but I figured I got this idea and I thought blue. So I said, why not just update the decor that we have, add a little bit of blue to it, see what we get, and then we'll get to use it for a third year. So that also saves space, saves time, saves money, and we changed the look just by revamping our decor. So we're going to be using this guy right here. I actually mentioned it in one of my posts. This is what we did last year. Last year we added the buffalo to it. Can you guys see okay? I feel like it feels a little bit dark here. Let me turn on one more light before I get started, because I feel like it's a little bit dark, just in case. Okay. Not sure if that helped, but okay. Hopefully that helped a little bit. Okay, so like I said, this is what we had last year, but we added this buffalo, black and white buffalo, to it. I have 4 pieces, I believe, 4 pieces. So we have this guy, the swag. We have a lantern swag, which, if you know me, I absolutely love lantern swags. Lantern swags are not only used. Hi Sophia, how are you? How you doing? I love you always here with me. Yay! Oh, I can't wait. You're gonna work with me. Watch, you're gonna come live with me one day, because I see what you're doing. You're super creative. So this lantern swag, like I said, it's a lantern swag, but I use it on a post outside. And I'm actually going to show you guys how this lantern post has been outside now 2 seasons, 2 years. So I used it last year and the year before. And last year I didn't take this off until like a week before Christmas, guys. I'm actually early for once, because you know how it is. You're working on everybody else's stuff and you forget to work on yours. So this is pretty impressive. I'm actually proud of myself, because this has been out. This is the one item out of all of them this is outside, but this is outside. Like, this gets all the snow. This has gotten snow. This has gotten rain. It's gotten blown with the wind. So it hasn't flown away. So I'm actually proud of myself. I actually flew away the first time. I'm not going to lie. But I secured it, and now they don't fall away. We've had some crazy storms. If you're in the New Jersey area, you know that we've been having like tornado winds right now. It's insane, and my swags are still there. They're not flying away. So that's pretty impressive. Okay, so I have my swag. This is my lantern swag. My swag, this is a garland which goes on our mantle, right? So we're gonna bluify this one as well. We have a wreath. This wreath goes over our fireplace, right above this guy, right? And then finally we have the tobacco basket. The tobacco basket, I use the same tobacco basket every year. Well, this is going to be the third time that I switch it. All I do is switch this out. These tobacco baskets are amazing. They're from Kirkland's, but the issue is that they're so big. They're so big. So to have to make different ones every season, it's a lot to store. It's a lot to store. Even if you have a big house and a huge attic or whatever, it's a lot to store. So what I have started doing with my tobacco baskets, and let me know if you guys want this, because I've actually asked before, just switch this part out. Switch it out. So this is the part that I made last year. Well, I made it 2 years ago, and then I added the buffalo to it. And today we're going to add blue to it. So we're going to switch this out from spring to fall, but before we do that, we're going to add blue. So we're going to bluify it. Bluify. If you didn't know, just stay alert. You're gonna see a lot of teals. You're gonna see a lot of blues with harvest. So orange and blues, orange and teals, orange and seafoam. You're gonna see that a lot. I actually thought about doing the teal, but for some reason I want more of like a royal blue. I feel like the royal blue, I'm really feeling the royal blue. So that's what I'm going to work on. Okay, so just make sure I don't have any comments. Let's just keep going. So you know me, I talk too much because I like to inform, I like to educate. But I'm just gonna get started. If you have any questions, just go along, ask me questions, and I'll just answer your questions as I go along. If you're watching the replay, this I will definitely post it to Instagram TV, so you can watch the replay later on. And I'll probably post it to my Facebook as well. Okay, so let's start with the small one. Let's start with the easy one, right? So this is a swag. Let's get this out of the way for now. And let's start with the small one. Like I said, this is stuff that I use for my home, so I don't always finish it off completely. This guy, like, I am super proud of this because I never even finished the back. I always finish, if you were to buy a swag from me, I always finish off the back with like little leaves or ribbon, and you're not going to see the pipe clean, the zip ties or anything like that. This guy has lasted 2 years and I didn't even complete it. So what we're going to do is here, we're just going to add a little bit of ribbon. This is my ribbon. It's a royal blue. Different kinds of blue out there. This is a royal blue linen. And all we're going to do is add some blue to it. See that? And that's going to change the look. And like I said, you're going to see a lot of blues out there. You're going to see a lot of blues this year. It changes the look. Because if not, if I didn't do this, what was going to happen was I was going to completely change my look. End up storing this guy, maybe giving it away to a family member. But something told me, you know what? Let's update it one more time. So I actually end up getting 3 years out of this decor. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right. So to update this guy, all I'm going to do is I'm going to make a loop. These loops, I know that whenever I work with swags, these lantern swags, I make 10-inch loops. So all I have to do is 10-inch loops means that I'm measuring out 10. First of all, I need a little tail. Doesn't matter how long it is. And I'm just going to do that. 10-inch, and I'm going to turn it. See that? But I want more than one. You see that? It's so simple. It is so simple. This is an awesome way to save money, to update your decor. And I actually know some people, some designers who have customers who they do it for them. So if you know, if you're a designer, think of that. If you're one of my customers, if you want to update it, let me know. Okay, see that? Gonna keep it nice and simple. I'm actually gonna add 3 loops. Let me turn it again. So it's a tiny little simple bow. 3 loops, nothing crazy. I'm sorry, it's gonna be so fast. And if you know me, I take my time because I talk a lot. Like I said, I like to help. So I did that. See, 3 little loops. I'm going to take my wire. The wire, I do not care about the gauge. When it comes to gauge, when it comes to wires, I don't really care. I just, I get these from Michaels. Michaels always has them on sale after the seasons. But just, you know, if you have noticed, Michaels and all of the craft stores, they're noticing that wreath making is becoming a big thing now. And the wreathers know that when things go on sale, after the holidays or whatever season, things go on 70% off, they're gone. They're gone after like a day. All right, so usually, so there you go. See, that's done. I tie it off. I like to finish it, and then I add it to my product, to whatever it is that I'm working on. So I end up using ribbon 2 times. I'm sorry, wire 2 times. That's me. Everybody has their own way of doing it. This is the way I feel comfortable doing it. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here. I'm going to go towards the middle. Because I'm not taking this bow apart. I'm just going to keep adding it. I'm just going to add it directly to whatever we have. But we got to make sure that it's secure. We don't want this thing flying away. Like the first time I made it. That was not nice. It ended up in my neighbor's yard. Because I didn't secure it. Well, their front yard. So I'm attaching it here. Turning it around. And the way that you add this to a lamp post, a lantern swag, or whatever maybe that you're working on is by using coiled wire. Coiled wire is amazing. I cut this too short, so I'm going to have to use my pliers. So I'm attaching it, just turn it. And then afterwards, we just add a little bit of glue to the back to make sure that it's nice and secure. And that's it. I'm finished with this one. Well, now we move the ribbons around. Now we move the ribbons around. See that? because we don't want the blue all in the same spot. But you see how I changed the look? And I know some people will be like, you added blue to your fall decor. I'm telling you, trust me, blues, teals, they are in. Unfortunately, I don't have a sign on me right now. But if you go on my website, actually, if you swipe into my shop, you'll see that I have a few wreaths on the fall that do have seafoam on them. So it's been already on the radar for a couple of years, but now this year you're really going to see a lot of it. So now this, I'm just going to cut it because this is the beginning of my roll. Make sure to turn it a little bit. This guy, I'm going to put it under. And I'm telling you, this is the third year that I use this. Third year. This is going to be the third season. So now, to secure it, all I'm going to do is turn it around. Remember, we don't want this thing to fly away. We've been having crazy, we're in the Northeast and we've been having like mini tornadoes. Mini tornadoes, branches everywhere. I mean, you know. So I'm going to cut this. Use your wire. Do not use your scissors, your fabric scissors, your ribbon scissors for wire. Do not. I mean, if you're cutting the floor wire, okay, but don't, you know what I mean. Okay, and now I'm going to add glue to it just to secure it. A lot of times I do not secure. If you follow me and see me with my Christmas decor, I do not secure my Christmas decor. I do not. I use my bases over and over again. But my fall decor, it's different. For some reason, because I know I'm going to use it more than once. Fall seems to be something that could last longer. I change my Christmas decor every year, so I reuse the same bases. Alright, so I add a little bit of glue there. That way this thing does not fly away, and it's ready to go. Now I'm going to actually end up using a marker to paint this a little bit here, because it's the third year. This thing's been beat up out there. It's been beat up. And I wish you could see the difference in the colors. I wish you could see it. I'm going to take some photos and I'm going to post it so you can see the difference of this orange that's been out there in the elements for 2 seasons now versus this guy, which has been nicely in the house, no direct sunlight, over the mantle. I mean, maybe you could see it right here. Maybe you could see it. But the point is that this lasted. It lasted. But you see the difference in the colors. See that? Okay. So yay, we just changed the look. We just changed the look. So the first year was just the blues, the oranges with the greens. Last year we added the buffalo. And now this year we're adding blue to it. So we changed the look again. See that? I don't know if you like it, but I like it. I like it. Everybody has their own look. I like to switch things up. So why not? Let's add blue to it. So there you go. That's item number 1. And all we did was add 3 little loops of ribbon. And then we just move the ribbons around, move the tails around, the streamers, because this is a little bit crazy, like I said. But there you go. That's item number 1. Done. Since we already have this on the table, let's work on item number 2, which is the wreath that goes over the mantle. Now, like I said, this item doesn't even get direct sunlight. It's in the middle of the house. Excuse me, it's over the fireplace. So it is super protected. The colors look amazing. Doesn't have any kind of wind. Doesn't have any kind of craziness. So the colors here, the colors for this guy and also the garland, they don't get affected. They're perfect. Okay, so now, because we have 1, 2, 3, we have 4 loops, 5 loops of the buffalo, let's do the same. Let's do the same here. So it's 5 loops of the buffalo. Let's add 5 loops of the blue. So I'm going to move this guy aside for a second. And I'm going to add a little tail, I think. Yeah, 9 inches should be more than enough. 9 inch, a 10-inch loop, and that's it. Turn it and cut it. Let's make 5 of these. Again, using my wire. And this one I'm going to leave a little bit longer because I want these to go through the grapevine. Okay. So I'm going to make 5 of these. 5 of these, and then we're going to add them to the wreath. About 9 inches. Measure out 10. You don't have to measure. I like to measure. I like to measure. I know plenty of people that do not measure. More power to you. I like to measure. So now I'm taking my wire. Remember, I do not care about the gauge. That's just me. I have no preference when it comes to gauge, because whenever I make a bow or whatever it may be, what happens is that I make it, I use a wire, and then I use a pipe cleaner, and using that pipe cleaner is how I add it to the wreath or the swag or whatever it is I'm making. Today, because this is for myself, all I'm doing is updating. I'll probably just add it just like this. That's why I made the wires a little bit longer. So that's 2. See how quickly? I'm not even spending a lot of time on this. The one that's going to take a little bit longer is probably going to be the tobacco basket, because it takes time to switch it out, to add the switch the arrangement that we made for it. Now if you check on my Facebook page, I should have all the steps. I have to start adding more of my videos on YouTube, but I made it on Instagram originally, then I updated it on Facebook, and now we're updating it again. So you get to see how it evolved over the years. This is the third, it's going to be 2 full years, so the 3rd year that we end up using it. So what is it? 2021, 2020, and 2019. And this is a very, very, very affordable way of just updating your decor. And for me, it's more about saving space, because all this stuff ends up taking a lot of space. And I already have a lot of space that I need to use for all of the wreaths since I sell wreaths. I have more than 130. I have 130 listed, which means if you're a wreath maker, you know we have a lot more around there. So I have a lot more than 130. So in my craft area, well, my storage area, I have 130 plus. So my stuff, I don't got space for it. Those are all the customer things that are nice and ready to go. I did a live, like a virtual craft show about 3 weeks ago, and you'll see back there. If you look at it, if you watch it, it's on Facebook and on YouTube. You'll see it. I have racks and racks and racks of wreaths. But I gotta add my own. I gotta store mine as well. And mine is like, oh my god, it's mine. All right, so we have the 5. These are the 5. Now what we're gonna do is we're simply going to take this guy right here, right? And let's see what we're gonna add them. Let's add them. The easier way to do it really is to use pipe cleaners, and I didn't take out pipe cleaners, so just bear with me for one moment. You need pipe cleaners. It's easier. I figured I cut them long because I thought I was going to add them, but really pipe cleaners are the easier way to do it. I just feel like they're easier than just regular wire. So remember, this wreath, it's going to be the 3rd year it gets used. 3rd year. And it's a nice and easy way, an affordable way, to just update it. See that? I only added 1 ribbon stream and already changed the look. Oh, I wasted the wire. I really thought I was going to use it. I should know better. I know myself. I love my pipe cleaners. So I'm adding it pretty much exactly wherever I added the white and black buffalo, I'm adding the blue. I'm telling you, this is how I'm doing it. If you want to just add 1 ribbon and just go down, like just weave it through, that's another way of doing it. I'm making up more words. I'm going to use my tools. It's not working. You could just do this with some patience, but because we're live, you don't want to watch me struggle. My husband, we're adding blue, and he just looked at me like, trust me, it'll be fine, because he's creative too. He's pretty good with color. So if you follow me, you've heard me say that before. Sometimes I come up with ideas, he's like, just do whatever. A lot of times he gives me a weird look like, what are you gonna do? So I cut these about 9 to 10 inches long. Wasn't sure exactly how I was gonna end up incorporating the streamers, but I always like to cut them longer, so that way we could do whatever it is that we need to do. If we need to cut them, we could cut them. If we need to curl them, weave them through, but it's easier to have more than enough and cut it versus not having enough and then having to cut more and add more and all that not so fun stuff. See that? I'm telling you, you're gonna remember me. Everybody is still saying, oh my gosh, she's adding blue. You're gonna see it. You're gonna see a lot of blues. We have 2 more. Just drop one. Okay. I truly just wasted so much water. So back to the pipe cleaner. Again, this is the way that I like to add ribbon. And I'm finding another spot here. I'm gonna go right here. These guys were never even secured. That's the funny thing. Because it's my own, I was like, no, we're not gonna use it again. We're gonna take it apart, and we ended up using it for so many years. Like I said, it's the 3rd year we use it now. Gonna be the 3rd year. Which is awesome. It's time effective, cost effective. And we're gonna add one more here at the bottom. We really don't have to, because we already have. Actually, I'm going to turn this a little bit here because I feel like we have a little bit of a gap right here. I think 4 is enough. I'm going to add the last one. Where should we add it? I think 4 is enough. We have 1 here, 2, 3 for the bow, and then right here. I'll add 1 more right here in the little corner, right here, sticking out. And then we'll start turning it and curling it and all that good stuff. Because you can't let it be all crazy like that either. Even though I do that with some of my bows, but we're not going to have it completely crazy. Okay, and the last one is going to go right in here. This is amazing for me. I am actually having a bit of a hard time thinking that I'm going to put this up already, because I don't like putting up fall decor until after Labor Day. Well, yeah. And I know plenty of crafters and decorators that already have fall up, and I'm just like, no. No, not yet. No, it's too soon. But since I'm already making it, already updating it, just so I don't leave everybody wondering, I think I'm actually going to put it up before Labor Day. And that's a first for me because I'm like so against that. So against that. But because of time. Okay. See that? It's crazy. It's looking crazy. So when your wreaths are looking a little bit crazy like this, let me turn it so you can see it. This is your opportunity to start playing with your ribbons, and don't be afraid to play with the ribbons. You could simply just pull it like that, put it between your fingers. You could curl it. I like to curl it. You could cut it. You could weave it under the flowers or the greenery. See, tuck it underneath and it like peeks out in other parts of it. So many things you could do. Ribbon streamers are the best. Ribbons and bows are an amazing, awesome way to update so many things. You could do so much with ribbons and bows. I tell everyone, ribbons and bows. If you're working on something, if it's Christmas, the best way to tie in all of your decor is with ribbon. You could use ribbon streamers, you could make bows, whatever it may be. But ribbon is it. Because this one has been out for a while. Let's clean up that edge a little bit. Okay, like I said, tuck it in. So even by tucking it in, it looks like more ribbon loops, when really you saw that every little thing that I made, every little ribbon, it was only one loop, but those tails, depending on how you manipulate them, could serve to look as other loops, and they're not. It's just another, it's like an optical illusion. See that? So we have this, and we have, where's our swag? I lost it. Here we go. And we have our swag. So these are the two pieces that we have so far. See how we change the look? Okay. So now, let's work on, I'm working on everything as I have it. We already did two big pieces. Now let's work on the garland. The garland is nice and big. So it's really the 4 pieces. Wow, that's it. Oh no! What am I kidding? We have our swag. We have our swag. And this swag, I didn't even have that attached last time. Okay. So here's our swag. Like I said, this teardrop swag was outside but protected. It's under the lip of my roof on the side of the house. So I thought we were finished. No, we're not finished. We're not finished. So same thing. Let's work on a loop. Measure it out. I'm going to measure this one out. See how big it is. Basically, seeing how long the other ones are. And we're about 11 inches on this one. So I am going to make a tail. Measure out 11 inches. And this one's going to be more of a bow. It's not going to be just one loop like we did with the other one, because we had one loop and we spread it out. This one's going to be more of a bow. And then we're going to play with the loops, with the streamers. See that? We have 2. And this one I had 4 of the buffalo. I think 3 should be enough. See that? 3. 3 should be enough to start. We could add more afterwards. or we're going to add more. I'm going to take our wire. Wrap it around. And now let's add it to the swag. Add it somewhat to the middle, and I'm gonna try my best to add this to the spine, because that's where pretty much all the other ribbons are put together. So let's add it to the spine. I think I cut the sky a little bit too short to start off, but it's okay. Do it again, it's okay. Now I'm taking my wire, passing it through the back, and around the spine, trying to at least. This guy has had a lot of ribbon added to it. Turn it, because we don't want this guy to fall apart. I lost it. I made it too short. That's what happened here. It's too short. So if that happens to you, where you make it too short, just use a pipe cleaner. Just use a pipe cleaner. Or use needle nose pliers. But again, this is for me. I've just got the pliers. Where are my pliers? Pliers make your life easier. Just go like that and turn it. And then I can add glue to that just to secure it. Add a dab of glue there. Okay, so we already added glue to that. So now we don't want a big lump of glue in the middle of it. So we're going to move the loops around. Let's move all of these loops around. And by moving them around, I mean tucking them behind the orange ones, tucking them behind the green ones. Don't have them all in the same spot. And just by moving it around, look what we did. I'm going to take this tail, curl it under. We have a tail up here, streamer, a tail, whatever it is that you call it. You could take this one and tuck it underneath. Tuck it over through the top. You could even take the needle, the pine needle itself, and wrap it around. So many opportunities, guys. So you see that? There was only 3 loops, and look how it changed that. But we don't want your eye to just go to the top. Now we're going to take more of this blue and we're going to distribute it throughout. So it could just be long streamers. It could be more loops, ribbon streamers, ribbon loops. I'm going to add, since I have this guy here, I think I'm just going to add a few streamers. And another thing that you could do also is just take one, make that, start with a loop, and then just keep weaving it through. As a matter of fact, let me do it that way so you can see a different way of doing it. So I'm going to start with the first loop. Do it like that. See that? I'm going to turn it. Well, I didn't measure it. 11-inch box, but 12. It's fine. Turning it. See that? Taking my wire. Now I'm not going to cut the wire. So I'm going to add this guy. Actually, I should cut the wire. Oh my god, I just like truly attached. See what I did there? Okay. So let's add this guy right around the opposite. We have the black and white buffalo here, so let's add this guy on the other side. And all I'm doing is wrapping the wire around the pine needle. I'm going to push it in because I don't want it to pop out too much. Now, like I said before, another way of doing it is to just simply weave it through. So like tuck it through like that. And then I'll use the floral wire, little pieces of floral wire, to secure it to different spots along the swag. So I'm going to take another piece of floral wire. See, I have all these extra little remnants that I cut before, so I can use these same little pieces and just attach it. That's another one. I haven't cut it yet. I'm not cut it. This one under this way. You see what I'm doing? So I'm just showing you a different way that you could attach, that you could add the color without having to cut it. And this way actually saves a bit of ribbon. If you're short on ribbon and you don't want to cut it so much, this is another way. That, but now we have all this blue here on the right, well, the left side, depending on how you're seeing it. My Instagram flips things. So now we're going to add on the other. Excuse me as I turn it a little bit. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did. Oh no, I'm not, because I have a loop on this side. I don't want a loop. You see what I'm saying? I created a loop on this side here. I don't want to create another loop right under it. It has to balance it out, so a little bit lower and to the left. It'll work best. Or you could just add streamers, meaning just pieces of ribbon. Just pieces of ribbon. Doesn't have to be anything special. Doesn't have to be a loop. It could just be a streamer. And that also helps a lot. So I'm gonna add this one more to the middle. Like I said, since the other one's to the right, we don't want to add it directly under it. That does not look balanced. And I'm going to. Your goal is to try to add it to the spine. If you can't add it to the spine, you're going to glue it to one of the pine needles. That's the best thing you could do. The thing is, secure it. You don't want these things to end up flying away, especially if you're selling it. Okay. So you see that? Now this guy, I'm gonna tuck it under. Again, I'm doing them a little bit different so you can see different ways you could do it. I'm salvaging these little pieces that I cut before. And the correct thing to do would be now, after this is complete, every little piece that I added, add some glue to it to secure it. Like I said, you don't want these things to be flying around or flying away. And because I personally love adding streamers here with a little tail at the bottom, I'm going to add one more little tail. I'm going to add a blue tail. Now this little blue tail doesn't have to be as long, although it could. I'm going to just wrap it around like I did with the buffalo. So now this guy's going to have two tails. I'm going to cut a little bit shorter. I don't want you to see the end of it. And I'm going to use another one of these pieces of wire and wrap it around. So I want the little lip to be hidden. I don't want you to see it so much. And there we go. That's our next piece. Obviously, we got to play with these. We don't want them to be one going to the left and the other one to the right. We could cut them a little bit shorter, but you get the idea. You get the idea. So for now we have this. We have 3 pieces done so far. We have this guy. We have the wreath. We have the wreath swag or the teardrop swag, and also the lantern swag. So 3 so far. 3 so far. And how long have I been here? Half an hour? Just a little bit over half an hour. Okay. So then let's work on the garland. I'm trying to make it as fast as possible. Let's work on the garland, even though I think I'm running out of these. I gotta get more of these. Let's get some more pipe cleaners. Different color, doesn't matter. A few more pipe cleaners, and then this guy, which is the garland. We can leave it as easy. We can make it as easy as counting how many pieces of garland. I'm sorry, of the blue buffalo we use. The black and white buffalo we used here, and then just determine. Just use the same thing. See this guy? I didn't even finish the ends. This is going on the end. I tucked this under my fireplace. Well, not under the fireplace. Under the mantle. Under the piece itself, and I hide it. I'm saying, if it's going to be for your own use, if you're one of my customers, you know that I go above and beyond making sure that you don't have any little things popping up. But for myself, I don't go that crazy. And yet still, this is going to be the 3rd year that I use it. So despite the fact that I try to make this as quickly as possible, it still has lasted. Because remember, if you heard me say this already, I do not make my own decor permanent. I switch it all the time, except the harvest, because the harvest lasts a little bit longer. Okay, so we have here 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 1, 2, 3, because this is a bow, and then 1, 2, 3. So we have 6 pieces. Ah, and something fell out of it. Look at that. It's okay. Let's just hide that for now. So 3 pieces, 6 pieces, and we could just let's do this so that way my table is long enough. It's just that I have too much stuff on the table, way too much stuff. So this guy's gonna have to hang off of the table in order for you to be able to actually get what I'm trying to do. So you see that right there? All I'm going to do is take a piece of the ribbon and put it in the same exact direction. I'm going to wrap it in here. Turn the needle ties. This is going to be inside. This doesn't have to be crazy. It's not going to fly away. And again, I'm teaching you how to do this for your own stuff. Then next year, you could take out the blue, take out the buffalo, and you start all over again. It's like you have a somewhat blank canvas, if you get what I'm saying, to start with your decor all over again. It does not have to be completely, you could keep repurposing it. Switch out the blue for teal next year. Switch out for, take out the buffalo and leave the blue. So you get what, I'm just trying to keep giving you ideas as to different ways that you could keep working with it. I'm trying to find the needle tie. This needle tie has been used a lot. It's one needle tie. all these streamers. Actually, I could use glue on it, but I won't. See how simple this is? These are just strips of ribbon. Strips of ribbon, guys. That's all it is. And because it's already the third time that we're using it, it makes sense to cut your edges a little bit. You don't want to cut it too much, but you could cut the ribbon edges a little bit because they do start to fray a bit. I mean, come on, how many years, like I said, have I been using the same guy? See that? Now here, the middle is where we have the nice ribbon, a nice bow happening here. So, I'm actually holding this upside down, I just realized. It's okay. You get the idea. So now, what I could do on this side, because there's like a bow happening in the middle, that's being secured, that has the sunflower in the middle here, I am going to grab this. Let's try to make it a little bit longer. I'm going to turn it. You could just measure the bow loops just by measuring one against the other. And that's it. That's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to go crazy with this one. Go like that. And because, like I said, this is a bow in the middle, yes, I am going to hold it. Hola, Mari. ¿Cómo estás? Mucho tiempo. Hace mucho tiempo que no estoy. Gracias por estar aquí conmigo. Espero que esté bien. Okay, see that? So we're adding it. We're adding it. Trying to get a smaller piece here. Yep, because I don't really need so much. Like that. We're turning it. And be careful with the wires, because the wires do hurt. They really do. You hear me say that over and over again. It's like a little, like when you go to the doctor and you get like blood work, you get that little pinch. Gracias, todos estamos muy bien, muchas gracias. Hoy estamos, simplemente estamos cambiándole, poniéndole un poco azul a la decoración que tengo para mi casa para otoño. Pues en vez de hacer algo nuevo para la casa, le estamos poniendo azul para cambiarle el look un poquito. So you see that? We need one more. One more. We need one more streamer right here. So you see, I could just add one streamer. I don't have to go crazy and add a whole bow, a whole loop. Just adding a whole little bow. I mean, just a little streamer. So again, we're just updating my fall decor. It's going to be the third year that I use it. Same exact decor. Last year, if you saw me, I added the buffalo to it. And this year we're adding the blue. Next year I think we're gonna be done with it. Next year we're gonna make something new. Let's see what we have so far. See, from here to that. And this is the garlic. Oh my god, we lost the flower. We lost the flower. Fall off. It's okay. I got a little bit of glue to it, but we got it. We got it. There you go. No? Nope. It needs a little bit of love. It needs some glue. That's some glue. It needs glue. This has been 3 years. And the embarrassing part is that I haven't stored it properly. It's just been like in my basement. Not stored beautifully like I usually do with everything else. Okay, so here we have one more loop. Sí, sí, por eso quise cambiarle, darle un cambio y como, no sé si han notado que el azul está muy de moda, como el naranja. Este año está muy de moda el azul. So, what I'm saying is that this year, blues with oranges are super trending. Super trending. You're going to see that a lot. It already started appearing like 2 years ago. You already started seeing it. Even like the seafoam and teals. You already started seeing it a couple of years ago, but this year you're really going to see it a lot. See that? Let's keep on going. And here it's just, it's nothing crazy, guys. Nothing crazy. It's just a way to save money, una forma de ahorrar dinero, y también más que nada el espacio. Porque guardar todo esto, saying, putting all this stuff away, having to store, and I like to match. So if you see this, if you know me, one of my customers, I like to make coordinating decor. So my customers always reach out to me like, hey, can you make a matching bow? Hey, can you make a matching swag? Can you make a matching wreath? For the wreath that I have. So I don't just make one piece. I have the garland. I have the wreath. I have bows. I have a swag. I have, in this case, there are 5 pieces. So 5 pieces. So it's a lot. It's a lot. So if I were to switch this, if I were to get something brand new this year, I'll have to put all this stuff away and make something new. So that's a lot of storage. It's a lot of storage. I haven't finished our attic yet. Hopefully by next year. Okay, listo, done. Okay. So here we have the garland. See that? Here's the garland. Okay, recap. We have the garland. Let's put that away. We have the teardrop swag. We have the wreath that goes over the garland. And finally, we have the lantern swag. One more gets so crazy. Okay, the last one that we have, I actually got to make space here. Let's make some space. The last one that we have is this guy right here. As you've heard me say before, I love tobacco baskets. I love this giant tobacco basket, but it takes up way too much space. And as opposed to the way I do with my customers, where my customers, I do ship them a permanent tobacco basket, mine is not. So. I gotta be very careful because last year, I don't know why I decided to start using steel picks in this guy, which was not smart, and I got really bad cuts. So this guy, we're gonna add blue. Let's add some blue. We're just gonna add, right here where the bow is, let's add a little bit of loops, and then we switch it out, and that's it. And we're finished. Okay. Alrighty. So remember, you do not have to measure, but because we have, what, 1, 2, 3 loops here, but they're separate, they're not together. Another loop. There. Here's my wire, my floral wire. to switch your hands. Oh, you saw what I almost did? Don't do that. Don't do that. So that, and now we're gonna add this under the pumpkin. Very carefully, because like I said, last year I got really nasty cut while I was working. Sí, sí, ahora que estoy viendo, sí, estamos reutilizando por el espacio y por el dinero. We're reusing our stuff. It's expensive and space. Space is an issue, guys. And I'm lucky to have my basement now, but I came from a small apartment and I did not have space. See that? It's not pretty. I do love what I do. I do. So pretty. Okay, let's add, I just lost my scissors. Let's add one more loop underneath here. I don't know, I want to add one more loop. One more loop underneath. I don't know why. I feel like it needs one more loop. See it? See it, see it. For balance, para balance, uno más. And if you're just following me, I'm Spanglish, guys. I do lives in Spanish, I do lives in English, but if my Spanish speakers are on when I'm doing my lives in English or vice versa, I just go into Spanglish or Spanish or English. So that's just me. Okay, so let's add one more loop down here. I think this is a little bit too long. Remember the wire, if you notice, the floral gauge to me does not matter, and I think you see that it really doesn't. It really doesn't. Some people really care. I personally do not, because if you notice, I end up attaching it with a pipe cleaner anyway, so to me it doesn't really matter. But in this case, this one does not need to be attached with a pipe cleaner because I'm adding it directly to the bow that we already have there. And if I wanted to make this a little bit more permanent, I would just add some hot glue to the bottom. But I'm not. This is mine. For a customer, of course. For me, I don't need to. And that way also, if I wanted to change it next year, just take out the blue. Take out the buffalo. Because I'm pretty sure I didn't make the buffalo. The only thing that I really make permanent every single year is the swag, the lantern swag. And it's because the lantern swag is going to go outside on a post. And it's windy and it's crazy and we don't want things to fly away. Okay, so now here comes the fun part. Now here comes the fun part. Now, we're finished. And now, see that? See how cute? Now, we gotta change this. And this gets crazy. This gets crazy. Okay. So I think I should, let's make some more space here. Let's put this down here. Okay. So we're gonna put this guy where he goes. Another thing with these tobacco baskets is to try to add a little hanger to them, because these are a pain to hang up. I always add hangers. If you know me, my wreaths always have hangers on them with tobacco baskets as well, because usually if you try to find the center, you're not, there is no center. The center is one of these, whatever you call them, the middle of it. So it's gonna be off center. So that's why I like to add a hanger. Okay. So now, carefully, because again, I added didn't make any changes to this guy last year. If you saw me, I switched it again. These guys are not permanent. Look, they're not permanent. I already used this guy 2 years in a row. 2 years. 2 years in a row already. I think maybe next year we'll switch them. But see that? 2 years in a row we already used it. So now, goodbye. I think we're going to switch it out. I think maybe next year we're going to switch it. Okay. So now, let's add carefully, con mucho cuidado, see, with the pipe cleaners. I'm going to attach it right here. No. I'm being very careful because last year I cut myself so badly. El año pasado me corté muy mal, Mari, porque usé los steel picks. Y no tenía que haber hecho eso. Okay. So, where's my center? Who's here? Got that? Hi. You can say hi?
Yeah.
Can you say hi? Say hi. Please. No, Instagram line.
Hi. I can't get my baby.
No, be careful.
My iPad that is getting.
I'm sorry, baby. Mommy needs her iPad.
But my iPad died.
I'm sorry. I need mine. Hola. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo te va? Aquí estoy medio en español. Y se fue. Vienen a robarme la tableta los niños. That's why she's here. Uh-oh. No. Que lo asegure un lado sin fijarme en el segundo. Ok. La cosa es que tengo mucho cuidado porque el año pasado, como dije, me corté. Porque usé los steel picks, los hierritos de metal. Que realmente no debía haberlo usado, como es algo no permanente. Y me corté muy mal. Pero si ya me han seguido y saben que hasta yo he tenido puntos por eso. Ok, I think we're good now. Creo que ya. Ok, entonces no está permanente. It's not permanent. Pero está seguro. Y ahora va a ser el tercer año que lo usamos. No, grapas no. Estas. Steel picks. Estas. Esas. Duelen. Tengo puntos por ellas. Tan peligrosas. Son maravillosas para trabajar, pero si uno no tiene cuidado. 2 puntos. 3 puntos. 2 puntos. 2 puntos. Yeah. Por estar apurada. Por estar apurada. Ok. Entonces, ahí está. There you go. Entonces, lo que hicimos. Here, I'm in Spanish now. We repurposed it. Entonces, cambiamos todo. We changed everything. El año pasado le pusimos el blanco con negro. Ahora le pusimos el azul. Last year we added the buffalo, white and black. And this year we added the royal blue. See that? Entonces, ahorrando dinero y espacio. Okay, so we have. Entonces, para que vean todo lo que hicimos. Ahora, cute. Claro que hay que jugar con los lazos un poquito. Ok, tobacco basket. Wreath. Que mentí, dije que estaba encima en la chimenea. No, esta está al otro lado porque el año pasado usé esta. Este fue el primer año. Esa. Tenemos el swag. Estaba afuera, al lado de la casa, porque no me cabe en la puerta. Estaba afuera en el poste. Y finalmente tenemos garland. Guirnalda creo que se dice. Que va en la chimenea. Por debajo de esta. Bueno, entonces simplemente este va a ser el tercer año que usamos la misma decoraciones, pero simplemente la cambiamos un poquito más. El primer año fue simple con el verde y el naranja. El año pasado le pusimos este buffalo y este año le pusimos el azul para cambiarle el look, porque hay que cambiarlo un poco. El año que viene no sé qué voy a hacer, pero yo pensé que este año lo iba a cambiar hasta que tuve la idea del azul, simplemente porque el azul está muy de moda con el naranja este año. Ok, guirnalda, right? Yay! Creo que esa fue una de mis palabras de traducción. That's it. Decirlo en inglés ahora. So last year, we have the tobacco basket, we have the wreath, we have the swag,
Mom.
we have the garland, and we have the lantern swag, which we use on the post outside. So that's it. So that's 5 pieces. This is going to be the 3rd year that I use it, just by switching it a little bit. So we save money, we save space, and that's about it. Sí, claro que lo voy a seguir. Sí, estoy, y cuando lo veo el apoyo, me encanta ayudarnos. Para eso estamos, right? Para ayudarnos. Vamos más lejos todos juntos. One moment, please. Ya, no, say bye. Está aquí porque me quiere robar la tableta. Okay. Se le gastó la batería de la de ella, ahora me quiere robar la mía. Eso es lo que pasa. Pues muchísimas gracias. Eso no será bonito para terminar. Let's put it down here. Ok. De nuevo, muchísimas gracias por estar aquí conmigo. Aprecio su tiempo. Say hi. Say hi, Mari.
Hi.
Say hi, Kata. See, look. Hi, Kata. They know you. Te conocen ya. Pues, de nuevo, muchísimas gracias por estar aquí conmigo. Y aprecio su tiempo y que tengan un muy buen fin de semana. Aprecio su tiempo, que tengan buena noche. Bye. Say bye.
Bye.
Say bye. Have a great weekend.
Bye.
Muchísimas gracias.
Bye.
No, muchas gracias.
Bye.
Okay, bye.